Hello, my name's Gavin, this is Genre Books, and this is the third in my list of lost penguins. Books that were in the Penguins classic range in my favourite old beige cream stylisation of Penguin classics that were unceremoniously dropped when we moved to the more modern classic, but not Penguin modern classic look. Again, I'm indebted to my wife for doing the legwork on the research for this. I've just taken the list she gave me and had a poke around to look at some of the titles. And today, brought to you by the letter C. And we begin with Chinese love poetry, new songs from the Jade Terrace. Early medieval Chinese poetry in the romantic or semi-erotic style from the years 420 to 589. Possibly this was reading material for the palace ladies, so ladies who stuck around in the Chinese court, and the palace was where the actual Jade Terrace was. For the second book, fast forwarding a millennium and a bit to talk about Kate Chopin and two selections of short stories, Bayou Folk with one collection and A Night in Arcadie the second. Set in Louisiana and Missouri. The next one we've actually got a copy of at home, so I'll show you the back first to prove it was the beige, or it's beige or cream. I don't know, I think I might go with cream from now on, but no cream on the front cover. This is John Clare, The Parish, a satire, a long poem critical of the Church of England, unpublished during John Clare's lifetime. Edited by Eric Robinson and with an introduction by Eric Robinson, notes by David Powell, and front cover artwork by J.M.W. Turner. I'm not going to begrudge Turner taking over the whole cover here. Book number 4 is For the Term of His Natural Life by Marcus Clarke. Published between 1870 and 1872 as His Natural Life in a magazine called The Australian Journal. This is a fictionalised account of convict transportation to Australia from Great Britain, and for the purposes of the narrative and typical of the stories of the time, our main character is, of course, an innocent man. Book number 5 in today's video is The Classic of Mountains and Seas, Anonymous. People have been arguing for just the past 2,000 years who actually wrote this, but it is Chinese produced mixture of the real and the fabulous in terms of geography, mythology, zoology, religion and medicine. Possibly the most interesting parts of this to people are the zoology, the bestiary aspects of this work. So you can say hello in this book to the bar snake, the bifang bird, and Changzhu and Zhuyu. And then straight back for book number 6 to Victorian England, selected poems of Arthur Hugh Clough, a friend of Matthew Arnold, Ralph Waldo Emerson, and of Thomas Carlyle. Later in life he was an assistant to Florence Nightingale. And, if you will also permit a little bit of a science fiction reference here, his quote from the latest Decalogue poem, "Thou shalt not kill but needst not strive officiously to stay alive," was an influence on Isaac Asimov's 3 Laws of Robotics. For books 7 and 8 we come to quite a famous writer and one of the first famous American novelists. Not each of these works is a novel, however, just one of them. This is James Fenimore Cooper, and the works are The American Democrat and The Spy. The American Democrat is a political essay, but The Spy is Cooper's second novel, and I think is viewed as the first ever sort of transatlantic bestseller. And finishing this short list today, just the 9 works, is Dom Casmurro by Machado de Assis. De Assis is a very famous Brazilian writer. As a novelist, he was a poet, he wrote short stories, he was a playwright, he was the first president of the Brazilian Academy of Letters. Dom Casmurro is a work of realist literature. It is a fictionalized memoir, it is a dark comedy, it is no longer printed by Penguin. The annoying thing about this is that I haven't heard of some of these works, and when I've looked into them, my interest has been piqued. Then trying to find a copy is becoming a bit of a struggle, and quite a few of these out of my price range. Still, one to keep an eye out for when you find an old battered Penguin classic in a car boot somewhere. Until next time.